Right now on Retiring Today, we're talking about the power of the Roth.
The Roth has rarely been so attractive. How to use it in your tax plan.
Along with Roth 401ks, conversions, and other advanced strategies.
Join us for Retiring Today. Welcome to Retiring Today. This episode is all about the Roth. We'll talk about the power of the Roth, some strategies involved with the Roth, and how you may want to fit a Roth into your retirement plan. I'm here with Loren Merkle. He's a certified financial planner, and Sean Hunkamp. He is a CPA and an investment advisor representative. You guys sit down every day with people. You help them plan their retirement. And Loren, a lot of times a Roth IRA or a Roth within the 401k is a big and important piece.
It certainly is, because taxes is where a lot of people leave money on the table when it comes to their retirement planning. So we're going to have a lot of fun today, and we're going to kick off our superhero series. We're going to have about 5 different shows highlighting different superheroes. So today our superhero is the Roth IRA, and the Roth IRA has a very powerful superpower, which is tax-free distributions. Any money you put underneath the Roth IRA will grow tax-free. When you take it out, you don't owe the IRS anything on those distributions as long as they come out qualified.
Okay, let's talk more. Let's just break down this superhero, the Roth IRA, the tax advantage. We'll get more into the weeds on that in a little bit, Sean, but talk about some of the other kind of basics of this that we need to know about.
The Roth IRA is another alternative, investment alternative that you should definitely be considering as you think about developing that comprehensive retirement plan. Again, it's one of the greatest or most tax advantage investment vehicles that are out there for us to utilize. The money goes in after tax, right? So we know we're not getting that current year or deduction from a tax standpoint. As that money grows in that account, we do know that we'll never pay taxes on that account balance again. And a very simple example, I put $1,000 into a Roth IRA here in the current year. I still pay taxes on that $1,000. Over time, that account balance may grow to $10,000. I will never pay taxes on that $9,000 of gain. There's very few accounts where we are able to get that type of tax advantage.
As opposed to the most common type of retirement account, which is the pre-tax account, pre-tax 401k plans, or the tax-deductible IRAs, where if you're contributing to your 401k plan on a pre-tax nature, you do not pay tax on that $1,000 the year you put it into it. But as it grows, that $1,000 grows to $10,000, you take it out, now you pay taxes on the full $10,000. So the question is that with taxes on sale right now, and they are, historically tax rates have rarely been this low. Do you want to pay taxes on the seed, or do you want to pay taxes on the harvest? When you plant your crops, you put the seed in the ground and then it balloons into a big harvest. It could be more beneficial to pay taxes on the seed when it's smaller than to pay taxes on the big harvest in the fall when you take them out of the fields.
I'm envisioning our superhero watering that seed and helping it grow. So one question you get a lot, guys, about the Roth is people be like, well, what's the return going to be? So let's break down kind of exactly what the Roth is and kind of how the investment part of it works.
Yeah, think about any type of investment that you currently have. You might have a savings account, you might have a checking account, you might have a CD, you might have mutual funds, ETF, individual stocks. All of those different types of investments can be underneath your Roth IRA. So the Roth IRA, the earnings that you receive on the Roth IRA is all going to be dependent upon the vehicle that you use, the investment product you use, and how that investment product performs. So think about the Roth IRA as just the protection over your investment product, and it's protecting your investment earnings from the IRS taxation.
Sean, what are the contribution limits of a Roth IRA?
Anytime that the IRS puts limits on a certain investment strategy, we should be looking at that and understanding. The IRS does have contribution limits around the Roth strategy. To us, that means it's a good thing because they don't want families or individuals to be overutilizing that. So for individuals age 50 and lower, under age 50, in a given year, you can contribute up to $6,000 starting in 2020. If you're over 50, you have a contribution catch-up that you can do for an additional $1,000 for a total of $7,000. Another thing to think about is there are those income phase-out or limitations. So, for example, for a couple married filing jointly, if they have an adjusted gross income of $206,000, they have completely phased out of that eligibility to be able to contribute that $6,000. For individuals, they've got to phase out as well. So again, as in our industry of being financial planners, working with families on their retirement planning, we know that we should be taking advantage of those options and ability to contribute to a Roth IRA while you still can.
And it's those types of restrictions plus some additional restrictions that's made it hard, really challenging for pre-retirees and retirees to accumulate much wealth underneath the Roth IRA. First, the Roth IRA hasn't been around all that long. It started in 1997. So a lot of these retirees, they were putting money underneath these pre-tax 401k plans for all of these years because the Roth just wasn't available. And now you put restrictions like this where if you make over a certain dollar amount, you don't even have access to contribute to the Roth IRA. It has been really challenging for retirees to accumulate wealth. But there's other strategies you can use. There's two different ways you can get money to the Roth. One is through contributions, and then one is through conversions, and we're going to talk a little bit about that later on in the show as well.
Sean, you talked about some of the earned income limits, but I think it's important to define another key part of the Roth, which is having earned income.
Another aspect of the Roth IRA we need to be aware of is that you must have earned income in order to be able to make those contributions in the given year. One exception to that is in the instance of a married couple, if one of them doesn't work, the other one, the non-working spouse, is able to utilize the earnings of the working spouse.
And one of the questions we get all the time is what qualifies as earned income? Because there's a lot of different types of income that we can receive. So what qualifies for earned income to make sure that we can contribute to the Roth? So 1099 contractual income would qualify, W-2 income from your employer. Income that doesn't qualify would be rental income, in tax or dividend income, interest income. Any of that type of income based on those investments would not qualify for earned income. But if you're working for an employer, 1099 contractual or W-2, that would qualify.
Okay, good distinctions, guys. We'll continue talking about today's superhero. It's the Roth, and we'll talk about its superpowers when Retiring Today continues.
With the current state of the markets, are you worried about what the future might hold for your retirement? Take advantage of learning opportunities through our online workshops. Learn if your retirement is still on track and discover income, tax, and investment strategies from the comfort of your own home. Go to merkleplan.com to view course offerings and sign up today. Take control of your retirement. Sign up today.
Has the recent market volatility put your retirement plan to the test? See if your retirement is still on track by scheduling a retirement checkup with Loren Merkle. During this 15-minute phone call, we'll discuss if your retirement plan could be disrupted by long-term market volatility. We'll also analyze your current tax plan and provide strategies on how to take advantage of the market. Go to merkleplan.com and click Book Now to schedule your retirement checkup today.
Welcome back to Retiring Today. It's part of our superhero series, and the superhero is the Roth. I'm sitting here next to two guys who, we're just short of putting you guys in capes and maybe calling you superheroes. But really, we're talking about the superhero, which is the Roth and its superpowers. Loren Merkle, certified financial planner. Sean Honkamp, he's a CPA and an investment advisor. We'll talk about the superpowers first of the Roth. Sean, inside the 401k, using it inside the 401k, there's some superpowers there.
It is great to see the Roth 401k option. It's a tremendous investment option that people can have. The Roth 401k has been around since 2006, so it's relatively new. But we talked in the first segment about how there's income limitations to be able to contribute to a Roth IRA in any given year. What's really nice about the Roth 401k is there are no contribution limits, and then the contribution amounts are much higher. So in 2020, in the current year, we can do up to $19,500 into a 401k. Talk about what a tremendous opportunity, what a great vehicle to be able to save a significant amount for your retirement.
So Sean, this is inside many employee-sponsored plans, but not all employee-sponsored plans have this option.
That is correct. Well, again, since 2006 is when they first started, what we've seen is that the larger employers or the larger companies are the ones that started adopting that first. There are higher costs to the 401k. It's a separate record-keeping, ledger to be able to track and record the after-tax or the Roth dollars. So, but what we've seen is that the medium-sized companies and now smaller companies, it is becoming more and more common across the employers within their 401k plan.
Okay, Loren, so if I have this option inside my 401k, should I be contributing to it at all ages, just as they get closer to retirement? What's the strategy?
If you have this available underneath your 401k plan, it's definitely worth considering. What you do want to do is talk to your retirement planner, talk to your CPA, and determine what makes the most sense for you. But with the power, the superpower of the Roth, with all that tax-free growth, especially the younger you are, or especially the less tax diversification you have within your plan, it is definitely worth considering.
Okay, the next superpower of the superhero, that is the Roth that we're going to talk about, is the conversion. And guys, I know here in the offices, this has been something that you've been talking to a lot of the families and individuals that we work with about. Lauren, kind of why is this being talked about so much right now?
It's being talked about so much right now because the Roth hasn't been around that long. There are only two ways to get money underneath the Roth. The contributions is one way. The conversions is another way. And the beautiful part about conversions is you can make as much money as you want to, and you can still convert as much as you want to the Roth IRA. So if you're making more money that you can't contribute to the Roth IRA, or you don't have a Roth 401k plan available to you, you can still, if it makes sense for you, you can still take some money from your pre-tax accounts and then convert it over to the Roth. You pay taxes on that conversion when you do it, but with taxes on sale right now, for many people, it makes sense, especially in this year where we're seeing a lot of increased market volatility. If you can time it in a way where the market's down, your accounts are down, and you convert over, that could be even more beneficial from an overall tax standpoint, because when this market rebounds, your accounts rebound, that's tax-free growth that you get because of that volatility in the marketplace. And who does not like the tax-free growth? A
lot of people like tax-free growth. So the superpower, I think we can kind of show people what this looks like in numbers. We've got Jill. Jill has a $500,000 IRA.
Well, Jill has a $500,000 IRA, and Jill is very similar to most other pre-retirees and retirees, where she has all of her money, or the majority of her retirement savings, underneath the pre-tax account, which means it's going to continue to grow. If she doesn't do anything, it's going to continue to grow, and she is going to share with the IRS in that growth. So Jill's going to take advantage of the tax rates when they are at historical lows. She's going to take $30,000 from her pre-tax account. She's going to convert it over to her Roth IRA, and from day one, when Jill's $30,000 gets into that Roth IRA, it is going to grow tax-free, meaning that she is not sharing in any of that growth with the IRS. She does pay taxes on that $30,000 when she moves it over, and the reason she is doing that is she's now creating tax diversification within her portfolio. She has some money that's pre-tax, some money that's tax-free, and it can help her with her income plan down the road.
Okay, so Sean, let's talk about how this can be done. I mean, without getting too far in the weeds, you've got to be kind of careful with some of these advanced strategies.
Yeah, we consider the Roth conversion in this advanced strategies as we're talking about, because it's not something you just want to wake up on a Tuesday and do. It's giving some thought to, all right, what am I trying to accomplish? Let's pay attention to what the market's doing. As we do conversions, we can do conversions in kind, meaning we continue to hold the same investments that we had before. We pick them up and take them out of a pre-tax or traditional IRA vehicle, and we drop them over into a Roth IRA. The reason, we've seen a lot of that just in the last week. We've had tremendous market volatility just recently. So this is a strategy that we've been having a lot of conversations with our families that we work with.
That's a great point, Sean. When you execute your Roth conversion, make sure you discuss with your retirement planner, do you want to execute it in kind or cash? In kind can have its advantages, but it doesn't mean you always want to do that. Simply what in kind means is let's say you own 100 shares of AT&T. It's trading at $50 a share, but because of the market volatility, just to make math easy, it goes down to $25 a share. Well, you still have the same $100 a share, but you're only paying taxes on the value of 100 shares times the $25 a share as opposed to the 50. So it decreases your tax bill on the conversion, and then once this market volatility works in your favor, meaning it rebounds, now the $25 a share goes up to $50 a share, so you only pay taxes on half, but you got all that appreciation tax-free.
Right, you want to be looking at each situation as you determine what's the best strategy for what you are trying to accomplish. So we talked about the in-kind. It can also be done in cash, as Lauren mentioned. We can sell out of what we have, we can transfer the cash over to the Roth IRA or do the conversion as we talked about, and then we make those decisions as well. In market volatility, there might be an opportunity where we like something else. We want to invest in something else that has had that volatility, knowing that the tax liability from the conversion is less than it was prior to the market volatility. Now we've got this upside, and that upside, as we've talked about, is never subject to tax. Another thing to be thinking about, and again, with the families we work with, this is part of the role that we do. We've got to make sure that you're compliant with the IRS requirements. We can't simply go out there and just pull money out of certain IRA accounts and then hang on to them. There's time limits, there's coding limits with the papers, the documentation that we want to make sure that we're compliant with.
And it's possible if you're lucky enough to have the pre-tax 401k that also has the Roth component, it's possible that you can actually convert underneath that 401k plan. So check with your plan administrator, check with your HR department or your retirement planner. But if you're really excited about doing these Roth conversions, you just don't have the IRAs underneath your 401k plan, you still may have that opportunity.
And one more of the superpowers of the Roth, Loren, is the Backdoor Roth Ira. What is it?
The Backdoor Roth Ira has caught some traction over the last couple of years. Essentially what it is it's a way for people who make too much money, they don't have access to contribute to the Roth IRA, they don't have access underneath their 401k plan to the Roth 401k plan. So what they can do is they can make a non-deductible contribution to a traditional IRA, and then they can convert that over to the Roth. So when they convert that over to the Roth, if it's done correctly, they're not going to pay any taxes on that conversion because they didn't take a deduction on the contribution, and there won't be any gains on that if they do it right away. Now, where people get in a lot of trouble with this is there's this little known rule called the Pro Rata Rule, which means if they have any IRAs that they have not paid taxes on, any pre-tax IRAs, and they try to do this backdoor Roth IRA, then they're not going to be able to convert that over and not pay taxes on it because of the pro rata. So they'll have to pay taxes based on the percentage of the pre-tax IRA they have versus the non-deductible IRA. So it's a sophisticated idea. It's a sophisticated tool that you can use. It works well for some people. Just make sure you consult your retirement planner or CPA before you engage in that, especially if you already have a pre-tax IRA.
And can this specific superpower be exercised at any time, or is this an age-specific strategy?
This can be done at any time. There are no requirements or limitations around doing the backdoor Roth IRA contribution.
Especially now with the Secure Act, because if you're earning wages, you can contribute to a traditional IRA at any age. It used to be prior to December of last year, you were cut off after 70 and a half. But now you can be 75. As long as you're earning wages, you can make the contributions to the traditional IRA and then convert it over if it makes sense. But you have to be earning money to do so.
Time for our Ask the Advisor segment. This is where we answer questions from you, the viewer, things you want to know. So we had Jennifer in Fort Dodge. She asked, how do I set up a Roth IRA? We'll answer Jennifer's question and much more when Retiring Today continues.
Has the recent market volatility put your retirement plan to the test? See if your retirement is still on track by scheduling a retirement checkup with Loren Merkle. During this 15-minute phone call, we'll discuss if your retirement plan could be disrupted by long-term market volatility. We'll also analyze your current tax plan and provide strategies on how to take advantage of the market. Go to merkleplan.com and click Book Now to schedule your retirement checkup today.
With the current state of the markets, are you worried about what the future might hold for your retirement? Take advantage of learning opportunities through our online workshops. Learn if your retirement is still on track and discover income, tax, and investment strategies from the comfort of your own home. Go to merkleplan.com to view course offerings and sign up today. Take control of your retirement. Sign up today.
Here's another look at our Ask the Advisor question. It comes to us from Jennifer in Fort Dodge. Jennifer wants to know, how do I set up a Roth IRA? I'm here with Loren Merkle and Sean Hunkamp, and you guys know how to do it. So Loren, What's the answer?
Jennifer, I have some really good news for you. It is very simple to set up a Roth IRA. If you're working with an advisor, call your advisor. If you're not working with an advisor and you want to, investigate who you want to work with and then work with that advisor, or you can work with your favorite custodian. So that would be companies like a T. Rowe Price, a Vanguard, a Fidelity. You can do it right online. They make it very simple. And or you can just give them a call. Either way, it's a very simple process. It's just a matter of paperwork. And then the important part is once you set it up, make sure you fund it, which means make sure you put money into it, because the Roth IRA all by itself isn't going to do you any good. It's the money underneath the Roth IRA that's going to be growing for you or working for you that is really going to provide the powerful superpower for you in your retirement.
Sean, we want to make a clarification as we talk about the Roth IRA and the tax advantages, just so people understand. You know, Loren talked about taxes being on sale, but you will pay some taxes when you do this conversion strategy, right?
It is important to think about the tax liability that's being created as we do these conversions. There are two ways that you can pay this tax liability. As we do the conversions, we can withhold money at that time. Essentially, you're sending that money to the IRS at the time of conversion. It's really about cash flow management. When are we going to pay this tax liability? You also can utilize existing savings and retirement funds to pay that tax liability when it comes due. Right? It's all going to be part of the next year's tax return. So we're going to identify and know what our tax liability or tax refund is at that point in time. An important thing to keep in mind, if you are pre-59 and a half, so if you're younger than 59 and a half and choose to withhold money as part of the conversion, you will be subject to that 10% penalty. So it's something that, it's a simple process, but it can have some complications to it. We want to make sure we do it right so that it's the most efficient strategy for your situation.
And Loren, when we talk about these strategies, you know, Sean says it's simple, but it sounds complicated to people who don't do it every single day. But doing it yourself is one thing, but working it into an overall comprehensive plan to help you decide when and how much is probably going to be the best thing to get you to that retirement vision. And that part of that plan is income, taxes, healthcare, investments, legacy. Those are the guiding principles that we call the Merkle retirement method. So how do this Roth superhero, how does he or she fit into that plan?
Your tax plan will have a direct impact on those other components of your plan. How you take income, where you're going to take income from at point of retirement, plus 10, 15 years down the road will impact what you're doing from a tax planning standpoint. It could impact when you take Social Security. It could impact what you incorporate from a long-term care strategy. All of this stuff works together. Where the Roth fits in is based on our current tax environment and based on the fact that most people don't have adequate tax diversification within their overall plan. This is an incredible opportunity for many people to start incorporating that tax diversification in the form of a Roth IRA through Roth conversions or Roth contributions, or maybe even a combination of both. So it's very integrated within the entire plan. And the Roth IRA is one of the best superheroes because of the superpower of the tax-free growth.
Yeah, and I know you guys like to talk about taxes. You like to teach people, Sean, about taxes. Of course, you're a CPA. You spend a lot of time diving into taxes. So one of the opportunities to kind of learn is the workshops that we hold for Merkle Retirement Planning. Tell people about some of the workshops we hold and what they'll learn.
One of the workshops we hold is Boost Your Retirement. Boost Your Retirement is intended for individuals that are already retired. We take a look at your situation and try to assess, look at where you're at and try to help you identify some strategies or opportunities that you may have to improve upon what you're doing. As we've talked about several times, the current tax environment that we're in, we know there's potential at high level, several opportunities that we can take advantage of to possibly improve your situation.
And what we notice is that even once you retire, the planning needs to continue on, because there's a lot of changes that do take place once you do retire, whether it's the legislative changes like the Secure Act, or whether it's changes within your life. Maybe you have a spouse pass away, maybe you have parents pass away, and you receive inheritances. The planning continues to go on even though you're retired, and those are all the things we're going to focus on in the Boost Your Retirement workshop.
Okay, the next workshop to talk about is the Journey to Retirement workshop. Who's a good candidate to maybe attend that one?
The Journey to Retirement workshop is intended for those who have not retired yet. They may be within 5 years of retiring, maybe within 10 years of retiring, and they're really starting to think about all the things that you're going to have to do once you do finally retire. Like, where are you going to get the income from? You have up to 81 different options when it comes to Social Security alone. So it can be very complex. How do you incorporate that within the tax plan, which after today's show, I know you're going to engage in effective tax planning. So how do you incorporate the income piece of that? the long-term care, the estate planning, all of those pieces go into the journey.
We also hold a Women in Retirement workshop. For more details on all of the workshops we hold, go to merkleplan.com. You'll see the times, the locations, and more information on these complimentary workshops. But one important thing to know, guys, as we kind of wrap up today's show is the importance of, Roth conversion. It sounds a little complicated, but a comprehensive, customized plan. This doesn't work for everybody, Loren.
No, it doesn't work for everybody. Your plan, whether we're talking about the tax plan, the income plan, the legacy plan, all of it needs to be customized to you. We teach these workshops, and we might have 30 different people in these workshops. Well, there should be 30 different plans because there are 30 different retirement visions. None of this is cookie cutter. We don't go by the general rules of thumb. You shouldn't either, because you want to make sure you have the right plan to accomplish your retirement vision.
Yeah, because this retirement vision has so many pieces. We didn't even touch on today, Sean, Social Security and how that works into the plan. So definitely, as you sit down with people, it all looks different.
Yeah, we love working with our families that are looking for that comprehensive plan. There's more complexities to the retirement stage of your life than before. The accumulation phase was rather simple. There are a lot of moving pieces in retirement, and we try to make sure that you're thinking all about each of those components as we put together that plan for you and your family.
And we'll continue talking about the pieces of a comprehensive retirement plan on this show. It's Retiring Today, and we thank you for watching.
Has the recent market volatility put your retirement plan to the test? See if your retirement is still on track by scheduling a retirement checkup with Loren Merkle. During this 15-minute phone call, we'll discuss if your retirement plan could be disrupted by long-term market volatility. We'll also analyze your current tax plan and provide strategies on how to take advantage of the market. Go to merkleplan.com and click Book Now to schedule your retirement checkup today.
With the current state of the markets, are you worried about what the future might hold for your retirement? Take advantage of learning opportunities through our online workshops. Learn if your retirement is still on track and discover income, tax, and investment strategies from the comfort of your own home. Go to merkleplan.com to view course offerings and sign up today. Take control of your retirement. Sign up today.
It's your retirement. How will you live it? How will you be remembered?
Will you be able to take me on vacation? Will you be there for my ball games? Will you teach me your values? Will you be able to play with me? Oh, help me go to college. How will I remember you?
Have the retirement you dream about. Contact us today.
From our family to yours, we hope you have a wonderful weekend.
We hope you enjoy the show.
We'll see you next week.